So hi guys, today we would be starting off with horse or humans dataset, and this is part of the computer vision only. So in the last video what we did is we took the fashion minutes dataset which consisted of a lot of data that were shoes, boot, ankle and a lot of things, and we differentiated between them using training the model. So today we would be looking at the horse or humans data. So what we would be doing is we would be giving some data to the model of horse and some data to the model use of humans, and then we would be validating by giving our own images that is the model able to tell that is the following image is of a human or a horse. So what is a horse or human data? Giving you a brief introduction. It's a data set of 3 by 300 by 300 images created by Lawrence Morini. He is the AI lead of Google, means TensorFlow only. So the set contains 500 rendered images of various species of horse in various poses in various locations. It also contains 527 rendered images of human in various poses and locations. So if you need more information about it, you can get it at Kaggle. It's the best platform for data science. You would find the whole data set here. You can download it, look into it, and even if you want to submit the model here, you can submit it and look at the codes of other people. Yeah. So I would simply be now downloading the datasets. These are the Google APIs which automatically install the dataset for me at the Colab. So I would be installing the dataset here, and after that we would be using the local zip modules, the operating system libraries, to access to the file system and zip library that allow you to unzip the data, because the data is in zipped format right now. So as I have put up the here, yeah. So the contents of the .zip are extracted to the base directory, which in turn contains horses and human subdirectories. If you want to go here, you can even go here and look at it. Here you would find that there is a TMP file inside which you can see horse or humans dataset has been recorded. So here the installation has taken place. So one thing we need to pay attention in this: we do not explicitly label the images as horse and humans. If you remember the handwriting example earlier, we had labeled this is 1 7 etc. So just similar to the fashion minist, aren't labeling it. We would be using image generator, will label the images appropriately for you, reducing a coding step. So we have defined the directories that training would be doing this, training human would be this, horse would be this, validation and validation human. So if you go here, you can look at it that inside the horse and human, also inside horses there are two directories. One is one is for training, one is for validation. So once we are good with that, we would go down and we would try to find out how many images are there. So we have listed directories. Now starting up with the code, we would be finding the we would obviously be doing import TensorFlow as TF. So we would be importing TensorFlow now. So then we add convolutional neural layers, as in the previous example we did to fashionist, but here we would be doing a little more deep part. In the last part I told you that sequential forms, there's how the sequence would be going on, how the sequence would be going throughout the model neural network. So here also we would be providing a lot of neural networks. Last time we did only one small, but here we would be doing 1 2 3 4 layers. Actually fourth and fifth layer are options. If you want, you can do that. If you don't, it's totally fine. So I would be doing that for at 3 layers only. If you want, you can do at 4 layer, 5 layers. You can even apply 6 layers. It's totally on your choice. And these I have explained this term flat and dense in the last video. The activation function is taken as sigmoid this time, and we will end our network with the sigmoid activation. So if you go here, you would find out the information regarding sigmoid function, that how sigmoid function works and all. So you can see the graph, it depends on loss and all. So we would run the model, make the model for now. So model.summary would print the method. If you want, you can even put model.summary. For now, if I want, I would just do here and type model.summary, and my work would be done by the method. If I type model.summary, you can see that it would print me the layers which are, you can see that it is the exact layer. You can see we did conv convolutional 2D max pooling, then convolutional 2D, and then again max pooling. We did like that. Same is happening here. 2D, then again max pooling, 2D, then again it's max pooling. It is just the representation of the whole sequential layer that you have formed on your uh, data of the model. Okay, so now the output image column shows how the size of the feature map involves in the successive layers. The convolutional layers reduce the size of the feature maps. So we would first be importing RMS prop, we would be compiling the model. But before doing that, I just want to tell you that I am using RMS prop here just because it's suitable for the model. But if you want, you can even use Adam here, then there won't be any problem. In the and Adam also, the learning rate is already automatically detected during training, but in RMS prop, which is again an optimizer, we are defining it. So you can go to Keras optimizer, and you can find out there are a lot of optimizers. One of them is RMS prop and another is Adam. You can go down here and you will find a lot of information regarding optimizers. Yeah, so now we would be doing data pre-processing, which is a very main part of the whole model. So let's set up a data generators that will read picture in a source folder, convert them to float 32 tensors, feed them to a network. So as I told you, we would be normalizing our image between 0 to 1 once again. In our case, we will be pre-processing our images by normalizing the pixel value to 0 to 1 again. In we did it by brute force method last time, but not this time. We need to do in Keras. We can do this by keras.preprocessing.image.image data generator using the rescale parameter. The image data generator class allows you to instantiate generators of augmented image batches using flow. So image data generator, if I go to the source code here, you will find out on the Keras API website that how this whole process work. We are providing the training data set, then validation data set, and we are telling that please rescale it to 1 by 255, that is between 0 and 1. And then we are providing it with the flow of the directory, that where are this is the source of directory of images, and what all images should be resized to, the target size, the batch size. And since we are using binary cross entropy loss, we need binary labels. So you must be thinking about that why I'm using binary cross entropy. It's really simple, because we have binary means 2 and we are differentiating between two sets of images. We are using binary. If there were many, we would have used cross entropy or any other loss function. So I would finally run it, and if you go here, you would find out that data set has got a lot of things here that we need to shuffle it, what is the color and all, but here we don't need that. If you go down, you would find about image data generator also, that what all things it has it has fill mode, channel shift and all, but we won't be needing it for now. But in the next video, I would be telling you about all the other functions that are available here. So I have run this cell now, and you can see there are 1227 images that are in that belong to two classes. So we are using these images for training, then these images for validation. Okay, now we would go here, we would start training. First of all, I would start, because it's epoch 15, it would take a lot of time. So till that time I would explain you. So we would be training here for 15 epochs. This can take few minutes. So do note the value of epochs. The loss and accuracy are a great indication of the progress of training. It's making a guess as to the classification of the training data and then measuring it against the known label, calculating the result. So accuracy is the portion of correct guesses. So what we are basically doing here is we are giving it that how many steps we want per epoch, how many epochs we want. Verbose is 1 because that animation. The validation is this. So if you want to see in detail that how all these functions are working, you can simply go to Keras API website, and if you want to study in deep that how these all are working, you can simply go to model.fit in Keras, and you would see that the model training APIs consist of all the data here. Yeah, you can see it's model.compile. We go down there, we will even find model.fit. So here you can see the data we are inputting. The first thing is that epochs, verbose, and then if you see validation data, the thing we have here, it's the validation data on which we have to evaluate the loss on any model metrics at the end of each epoch. So this is the data on which we are going to call a function on that. Okay, you have trained I have trained the model. Now I want to see how good my model is performing. And then another thing was steps per epoch. So total number of steps before declaring one epoch finished and starting the epochs. So when training with inputs such as TensorFlow data, the default is none, but if you want you can put it as per your choice. So these are the total number of steps we are doing before declaring one epoch finished and starting the next epoch. So we are declaring 8 steps per epoch, but as you can see it's done in 8 batches, 8 like that, 1 like 8 till 8. So you can even increase that if you want, and for now the validation steps is also left to 8. So our model is trained. So now we would run the model, and we won't be doing on evaluation for now because we have already done that. If you want to see the results, you can go here and you can see it started from 53, 83, then 64, it reduced, it increased, but at the end it was around 84%, 85% accurate, and there was 14% valuation loss. So but if you see on the training data, it performed on 100%. The model was 100% correct on the training data and 85% correct on the valuation data. So yeah, now we would be taking some images from a local storage, and we would be performing operations on it to check if it's working. So I got 3 images, that is horses 1, you can see this image. So this is an image of horse. Then I've got another image, that is horses 2, and then I've got another image, that is man 1. So we would be seeing how good our model is performing right now. I would be running this cell, and then it would be asking me to choose some files, and I would be uploading these files directly. Yeah, so you can see if the class's value would be greater than 0.5, it would be human, and else it would print it is horse. So 2 of our images are uploaded. Now we would be waiting for the third image, and as soon as it follows, it would be going to the path content. Then it would be again loaded to target size 150 by 150 because we have done that to all our images. Then the model would be predicting it here, and then we would be storing it in an array, and if the array's value is greater than 0.5, it's a human, else it is a horse. So according to that, yeah, you can see it's performing slightly wrong because it has done the good with these two. It has done, they both are horse, but it has also labeled the person as also horse. Even though when I did it last time, it labeled the man as human, but I don't know, maybe every time the model performs differently. So this time it has given me an accuracy of 2 by 3, that is 66%. But you can experiment that with so many images. You can just go to Google and find out images of horses and humans. So this is how the whole model stuff would work on. You can study more about it at the Keras API if you want to study in deep how these APIs and models are working inside. So this was it. You first prepare data, then you made the model, then you compile the model, then you trained the model, then you validated the model, and then you checked it on your own personal data. So this is how the whole model system is working. Hope you have enjoyed the tutorial, and I would be linking the Google collaboratory list in the description section. So thank you and have a nice day.